Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. I'm a little dirty. I just got finished working out here. I was adding more mulch that if you watched the video that was probably posted on, I think it's posted on Monday night. I was supposed to post Sunday, but we didn't get a chance to. So anyway, of me getting all the mulch, I still ran out right about here. So, and I didn't even get enough to do the chicken coop run, which it needs to dry out a little bit before I can do that anyway. So that's all right. I can pick some more up in the next day or so before I redo that and get that done. I know you were yelling for me to come love on you because you knew I was out here. Beulah May. Beulah May. Hi, Pumpkin. Sometimes when she knows I'm outside, I can hear her. She does this little and like a certain, I can't mimic it, but she does this certain little whinny neigh thing. And it's basically just her saying like, come say hi. Come what? And then she does this nudge thing, which I still haven't figured out if it means she likes it. It almost acts like she wants to bite, but then she doesn't bite. So I guess it means she likes it. I don't know. What? Yeah, that. She does this. Like a little nudge. I don't know. Yeah, I'm in love though, most of the time. Yeah, I'm mostly a good girl. But I didn't bring you anything. Yeah, I didn't bring you anything. I don't bring her treats usually except for the morning. And then every once in a while in the afternoon, like if I'm cooking, I know you don't like the selfie stick that much. She's not scared of it. She just isn't a huge fan. So that's fine. Um, but anyway, I'll bring her like a carrot or two. And she seems to like that. Um, all my girls are back to laying, which is fabulous. Well, not all. I've got like one or two that aren't laying just yet, but and my ducks have not started laying yet. Neither have my geese, but it's early in the season for them still. Although the ducks should start pretty soon, which is exciting because that means both duck eggs for eating and cooking, as well as uh, letting them have a clutch and have some babies. So, and you guys remember yesterday's video, uh, we had the tractor parked out front, Kenny, and Mike's actually in town right now, picking out the bush hog and getting that squared away. Because as you can see behind me, there's a lot of sage grass right near all the animals, right near the goats and everybody and the chicken coop and all that. And that's excellent places for things like foxes and coyotes and things like that that love to just snack on chickens and, you know, potentially snack on a goat. Now, of course, we've got good old Kusi over here. He's not going to let anything bad happen to the goats, but, and he, potentially would scare away something from the chicken coop as well, now that he's a little older. There's been several nights where we've heard him barking, and Mike's come out here and, you know, he's been off in the corner on something and, but then we don't see anything or hear. So I think he's been pretty good about deterring, keeping things away. But this week, guys, I'm so excited. I've mentioned it before, but we're getting Pashka, um, another livestock guardian dog, um, and which is it's good because he's doing so well with his training, and he's older now, and he's kind of, I mean, he's still a pup, don't get me wrong. There's still work that needs done, and he still has his moments where he doesn't want to listen or he gets distracted by a squirrel. But for the most part, hi Dan, these are my handsome Dan. For the most part, he's doing very well with all of that, and so it'll be nice to not be starting at square one with both dogs. Um, so we'll see how it all goes, but I'm hopeful that it'll be good, and I think he'll be happy to have another dog again, because he did so well with having Nash. So I think he'll be, I know I've got dirt all over my hands. You cleaning it off for me? Thank you. Hi, guys. Oh, are you coming for love too? Anne hardly ever comes up for love. Like, unless she thinks ow, sir, you're not a goat. You know better. Good gravy. And Beulah's over there giving me the stink eye with Bunko at the top of the, I don't even know where, I can't see when I'm looking. They're right, can't tell on the phone. They're right there. But anyway, she gives me the stink eye when I'm loving on other animals. But she's definitely got her routine down. Had Bunko last night with the ladies, and had a great time. It was my first time kind of hosting. Well, it's my first time hosting Bunko, but it was my first time kind of hosting anything at the house beyond just having like a couple of friends over, which is so strange because we used to have parties all the time at our old place because it was really laid out really well for having big gatherings, and we had a pool in the backyard. So it was always sort of a no-brainer. Here, while we have all this space, the house isn't really built that great for entertaining large groups. So that's the downside, I guess. But, you know, eventually we'll knock out some walls and do some projects inside, kind of like we did at the old place. For those of you that have been with us long enough know that we did some work at the old place, and while we were changing things on the outside, we changed some things on the inside as well. So eventually we'll get to that point here. We just have so much more infrastructure out here that we have to kind of reestablish before we can start working on things like that on the inside that are not really necessary. Like nothing's not functioning on the inside. The house is beautiful. There's nothing that's wrong with it. You know, we just want to change some of the layout a little bit to make it a little more open for that type of stuff. But out here, because you know the previous owners here, they didn't keep animals really, so they didn't have a chicken coop, and they didn't have a barn, and they didn't have you know, pens for animals and things like that. They had cattle a little bit, and they did have horses out here, but they didn't really have infrastructure for the kind of animals that we have. So for us, we've, you know, had to do a lot of getting that stuff ready and preparing that kind of thing. And so, you know, for me, it is what it is. You know, we'll chip away at it. We'll continue to chip away at it. I know, hopefully, we'll be getting some sheep soon, and starting that venture, which I'm excited about. I love sheep. Dare I say it, there's things about sheep that I love more than goats. I love goats, but sheep are just, they have a very different personality. And yes, they can be skittish and sheepish, depending on the breed and depending on, you know, how used to people they are. But when they're brought up around people from a young age and are, you know, kind of used to it, they're just really, they're a lot of fun to be around. They're a lot of fun to work with. I think they're a little bit more, not that goats are super high maintenance, but in some ways they're more low maintenance, especially when you're talking about, you know, hair breeds of sheep. But I don't know. I mean, I guess they're kind of on par in some ways, but with goats, you know, you kind of have to worry about them eating your trees and being pickier sometimes about the things that they will eat on the ground or weeds or whatever. Whereas sheep will just kind of graze right along, and they don't try to get out of anything. Now, I'm very lucky with my goats. They have never been escape artists. That's just not in their nature. I know, I hear you, homeboy. I hear you. They're just not escape artists. They've never been that way. They've never tried to get out. In fact, I could open up the pen right now. I could walk all around the yard with them and then walk back in the pen, and they would just follow me back in. They're weird like that. Most goats would be like, freedom, and they would run to the nearest like green patch and just have a field day. So, you know, they're odd. But sheep are more like they're not trying to get out. They want to be with their group. They're not looking to climb over anything or escape necessarily. Whereas goats are just a little more mischievous, I suppose. So they like to live like someone left the gate open, you know. So you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to get started on the sheep and checking on my sand over here. I laid it out on a metal sheet that I had over here. This is my as I fall over, don't fall over. This is some all-purpose sand for the bedding. It's dried out quite a bit. I'm hoping it doesn't get too damp out tonight. I don't think it's supposed to. I mean, like misty, dewy. But it was, you know, out in the truck, and then it was out on pallets. So it, you know, it got wet. So I'm kind of trying to dry it out because I don't want to put wet sand in the coop right off the bat, you know. I want it to dry out some and whatever. So not ideal to have it wet, obviously. But and then I keep getting these girls keep escaping. Such a pain. I got bunk following me everywhere I go. But you know, I'm excited to see how well this works for me. Hopefully it will. Hopefully I got enough of it. But I'm looking at that run. I probably need 30 bags looking at that run. Just knowing how, you know, it's supposed to be 2 cubic feet that one bag of mulch will cover if you're doing a thick enough layer. That's a kind of a big area. I almost need like a half a truckload or something, but I don't know. I need a lot of it to really do this run properly with it. And like this whole strip right here is fine. I feel like what happened was it kind of all slid this way. And some of these areas were a little bit spottier than others to begin with. So I think I'm going to have to just get a whole mess of it, find it on sale somewhere and just get a whole mess of it and put a good layer of it down, because like right by the front door, I don't know if you guys, I'll show you real quick. Right here, this whole, like right where I'm walking, like this whole thing, whenever it rains, it's dried up quite a bit, but this was much bigger, this big puddle. And then there's a divot right here too, and this gets awful muddy right here. And so basically the whole entrance from the run right here gets real muddy. And of course the birds like to hang out right there. And it gets muddier every time it rains, and we had a lot of rain the last couple of days. So I need a decent amount there. I'd love to be able to put, you know, some other things down instead of the mulch, because the mulch does eventually break down. But a lot of other options are just really expensive. So, and we are planning on doing some gravel out here before Freedom Weekend, under part of this tree. So, you know, that's going to be pricey too. So, you know, gotta pick our battles. I gotta make them comfortable, but I also can't spend a gazillion dollars trying to do that. So everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. So anyway, guys, I gotta get back to work, and I gotta go pick up the kids soon, and I should wash my hands. So anyway, I hope you all are having an amazing day. And as always, stay blessed and safety is off.